Good morning. It is 6:16 a.m. on Tuesday, February 9th, 2016. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So, another day where I'm lying a little bit. I didn't just get up. What I actually did is just spend almost 20 minutes falling down an internet hole researching the various past appearances of the Marvel character Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl is actually a really fun character. Anyone who is not familiar at all, it's pretty much in the name, really. She's, a girl. She's got a giant squirrel tail. She's got big buck front teeth and claws, and she's actually surprisingly tough despite being very silly. And canonically, in the Marvel Universe, she has defeated foes such as Doctor Doom and Thanos and everything. Um, but she's just one of those characters that is used generally to play up sort of the sillier side of the Marvel Universe. And in her current comic, The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, is in volume 2 right now, and I've enjoyed that from the beginning. But the reason that I got onto it was, it's one of those stories where it's really almost not even worth telling. Basically, I was reading about a flame war on Twitter, and then someone was joking about how one of the insults they got was related to Squirrel Girl, and I don't like. At that point, really, it's just not even worth getting into. So, boy, yeah, I don't without just talking more about Squirrel Girl. The funny thing about Squirrel Girl is way back before, this was probably in the early 2000s, before I was even aware of Squirrel Girl as an actual existing Marvel character. I had the idea of trying to make a short film called Squirrel Girl that was going to be a parody of Grizzly Man. The idea just being the documentary Grizzly Man, if anyone is not familiar, is basically about a guy who pretty naively had decided to express his feelings of alienation with society by going off to live with bears where he was fascinated by them. Now, not literally, like, it's not like he is a bear or something, but like to study them, but to study them in kind of an irresponsible way, not like a real scientist with regard for his own personal safety. Um, and so basically, he would just act like the bears were like really his friends, like he could really just hang out with them, like he understood them so they wouldn't attack him, that sort of thing. And it worked for a while. And then, of course, he was killed by a grizzly bear. Um, it's really, it's kind of it's a tragic movie. Um, it's directed by Werner Herzog. It's actually really good. The original Grizzly Man, but I had the idea of joking, having a documentary where a girl was obsessed with squirrels and basically did the same thing, and then the twist, basically just like the implication that she was killed and eaten by squirrels. Um, I mean, all that really came from was the rhyme, and I never followed through on it. But I remember discovering, like a couple years later that okay, Squirrel Girl as a character has not really been around in the Marvel Universe forever. I think 1992 was her first appearance, and it was really kind of just a one-shot until 2005. That's some of the little details that I discovered in my little web hole earlier today. But so it's not like she was like a popular character that lots of people knew about at that time. So if I was thinking of this in like 2003 or something like that. So, um, Yeah. Okay, losing my train of thought. It's still very early in the morning, you guys. Okay. So I guess the point is that when I discovered that there was, you know, in the interim, while I hadn't been paying attention, that there was actually another character, is one of those recognitions of serendipity of like, oh, gosh, maybe finding an obvious rhyme that sounds like a superhero is something that someone else could have come up with completely independently. These things happen after all. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to shake out these cobwebs or whatever and get ready for work. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes.